good, everybody? Good evening. How's it going, y'all? Let's make some sound tonight. Wherever you are in the world, thank you for tuning in this evening. We're going to be making some tunes. We're going to be doing some sampling. That's the wrong button. I just got my hands on the Mini Freak by Arturia. Just random conversation with Arturia actually while I was at NAMM, and I was like, whoa. Actually, I didn't even mention it. They were like, oh, we should send you a Mini Freak. I was like, sure. I haven't really tried a proper Arturia synth since the Micro Freak, which is pretty old now, but I'm excited to try this Mini Freak. I've dabbled a little bit, and so far I've been pretty impressed by the sounds. But how are we doing? It's an evening stream, a Thursday evening stream. We kind of discussed this last time, potentially doing a Thursday evening, recurring evening, late night vibes kind of thing. But let me know what y'all think. How has your week been? I think this has helped push you through. It's Thursday evening for me, almost Friday. Maybe you need that extra push to get through the final day of the week. Regardless, here we are. Akoji Atsuma. Hello, my friend. Thank you for being here. Xerix, welcome. Nice to see you. DM Strings, hello. My parents are even in the chat. This is crazy. Sky Lotus says, hi and bye. Out doing yard work on the property. Have fun, y'all. Catching the replay. Sky Lotus, thanks for tuning in later. This is me from the past saying hi to you in the future, watching this later. Yes, and of course, you should all know that. The streams are always available to you to watch later. And look at that, we actually have a new member right off the bat. Rod McInnes, Odd Duck Out. Welcome to the Wanderers. Thank you so much for joining. Much appreciated. Thank you for supporting the channel. Quite a few members in chat today. All the people with the cool trees next to their name in chat, if you notice that. All channel members. Jasper says both synths sound awesome. Well, we're going to get into that today. And if anybody has more experience with these synths than I, which it won't be hard to be that person, then I'll definitely be looking for you to guide me through or help me push some buttons, get the right sounds. Rashane, nice to see you as well. What's up? Accent Noir, I know you're already living in Friday. How's life in the future? Jimmy, nice to see you. Thanks for the support on the latest videos. I hope you guys have caught the latest videos. There's 2 videos that I posted, I think this week, basically. So one is a really cool video about a vintage keyboard, and I put a lot of work into that video, trying to make it fun and entertaining. If some of you all saw that, it was a new video style for me. But I'm curious to hear if those of you watched it, if you enjoyed it. I hope that you did. I want to try to do more videos in that particular style. Some guy says, I love the Micro Freak. That's great. That means you're going to probably love this Mini Freak. And Xerix informs us the Micro Freak uses some of the same algorithms from Mutable Instruments and Make Noise, Eurorack stuff. Really cool. Yeah, the sounds that I've tried out so far on the Mini Freak are very vibey, so I'm very excited for that. Hello, Rogue Shadow 99. Nice to see you. Never heard of the Micro Freak. I've got it in the closet. It's not easy for me to pull out, but it's just a very small synth that doesn't have real keys. It has sort of like touch sensors for keys instead. Bashan Vibe, don't worry, you're not too late. We're just getting started. We're just getting cozy here. Accent Noir. I asked Accent Noir how is the future, since he's tuning in and it's Friday already, and he says, dark. The future is dark, according to Accent Noir. Aoda, you made it. I'm happy you made it. I know last time it was confusing. You weren't sure if it was a stream or not, but it is indeed a stream. So welcome. Some sound happening out there. Oh, Jimmy's also living in the future. All these people living in the future. What's up, V Groove? Nice to see you. Oh, Koji liked the video. I'm glad. I'm very glad. Yeah, so I dropped the video on the vintage keyboard. It's called, like, I tried buying a vintage keyboard and now I'm in debt to an AI. So definitely check out that video if you have not. And I also dropped a video on the latest Ableton Move update, which is very exciting. I am like hard at work on a few new video projects. This next video I'm working on is very fun. It's going to be in the same style as the vintage keyboard video. So we'll see how the feedback is for those new videos. How's sound, by the way? I got a little bit of ambient music in the background. Hopefully that's not too loud. Hopefully my voice is sounding fine. You let me know. Xerix meant noise engineering. Got it. Correct the record. There are granular patches, right? We will have to dive in and find out. I actually realized as I started the stream that I set a scale, which I didn't really want to do. But now I might, yeah, just off. Let's just turn scale off. That should be better now. And then turn chord off. And then we'll be good to go. I don't know. Oh, I ended up turning the filter down. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, I want to do a bunch of sampling today. I use the MIDI Freak all the time. Just finished 50 presets. Holy smokes, what kind of presets are you making? What genre? I am not great at synthesis, so I don't really make presets like that for synths. Tabe Comics, nice to see you. You got a project coming out soon, right? Or maybe it's dropped, or maybe it's dropping at the beginning of the month. Let us know what's happening. Ozzy, talking about the Micro Freak, the matte black bumps for keys. Yeah, I guess you could say that. Matte black bumps, they're kind of like, you know what? We have the technology. We have the actual Micro Freak. It's just not easily accessible. It's in the closet. But we do have the technology to at least just show a picture of it. This is the Micro Freak, for those of you that don't know. I wasn't too hot when I got the Micro Freak for the first time. I wasn't too hot on it because I really was not getting into synthesis at all at that time. I was still very much focused on being pretty much completely in the box. But I have since matured, you could say. No, but I've just gotten more into experimenting with synths and stuff, and I've gotten more ambitious that way. I could definitely revisit the Micro Freak for sure. Barista Beats says, thanks for hosting another late night stream. Greetings from Chicago. Glad to have you here, Barista Beats. Thank you so much for being a channel member. Sound is clear. All right, I'm getting good feedback on the sound. We love to hear that. Tabe Comics got the first EP coming. That's something we love to hear. What genres we got? We're gonna have vocals on that? What's happening? I want to hear all about it. Oh, an amazing member milestone chat. Yo, Lulo, thank you for the 11 months. Thanks so much for being a member. First time catching you online. Thank you for all the music hardware tutorials. Greetings from Argentina. Thank you so much for tuning in, my friend, all the way from Argentina, and thank you for supporting the channel. It means a lot. I think I should make a few more tutorials in the coming days. I kind of have, I don't know. I'm curious to hear from all of you. Like, what do you tune into the channel most for? Is it tutorials? Do you like to see like just the beat making process? Do you like a little story? Do you just like the chill vibes? Like, what are you tuning in for? And who else do you tune into and enjoy? Very curious to know. V Groove is cooking up some pads, keys, drums, couple sequences, mostly electronic and psychedelic rock style I use for hip hop as well. Nice. Mikachu says, I got a Mini Freak as my first and only synth, and I love it. To be honest, as I've just started dabbling with using this, I don't know if it's just the size and the immediate gratification with the sounds and the presets so far, but I could see this living on my desk like pretty permanently, especially since it's got the USB, so I can use it just for a MIDI controller as well if I'm not actually doing synthesis. But I'm pretty stoked for that. And then my setup is in kind of flux. I think I'm gonna probably try to revamp the desk behind me, because I really haven't used that desk in a bit, because I've been like moving things around way too much. But if you see here, oh gosh, how do I switch the camera without breaking things? Here we go. Switch the camera. I got a camera over my shoulder where you can see I've got this situation here. So this is where the drone synth is at. I got a microcosm pedal here, which will run the synth through. But then I have like this other space, which you can't quite see on camera over here, which is very, very useful. So I'm trying to just find balance in my home studio in a way that's not super overwhelming. I need that station back there to be an experimental station, but it's, I don't know. Maybe I think I've just been too busy to do like proper experimentation lately. So that's why we're streaming tonight, because I'm hoping to do a little experimentation with all of you. Cycling frugally. Thank you for being here. Glad you made it. What's up, Pilo Lindo? Nice to see you. Thanks for being here. Jasper's also got a release out. I just released a synth / lo-fi album to Spotify and was completely inspired by you, man. I'm so happy to hear that. Congratulations on your release, and congrats on just like taking the info that you learned or that inspiration that you got and running with it and like putting it to work. It's easy to just get sucked in by the content and forget to make something, but you did it. Hey, I gotta say also a big thank you for the, get this, everybody, thank you for the 33 months. Not only that, 33 months at the Guardians tier by AOD Music. Thank you so much for being a member. 33 months, it's crazy. AOD says, join as a member, great community, so many great member perks. I love to hear it. Thank you so much, AOD, for that shout. I'm glad you're enjoying your membership. Membership is the best way to support the channel and get some perks for yourself. Interesting question here. Hold on, something just fell in the background. I have to check. Everything's okay? You're okay? You need help? And my wife is in peril, but she doesn't need my help, she said. I don't know what happened. I was going to answer this very controversial question. No, don't worry. Everything is fine. Everything is fine down there. I've been told. I hope. What do you think of FL Studio is the question. I've never used it. So I don't really think much about it. But I don't know if we have any FL Studios in the chat. The thing that I see about FL Studio is it's a lot of step sequencing based around that step sequencer, which is interesting. I'm sure that's not the only like note input method, but I could see why like a trap style drum stuff that's very locked in gets made in FL Studio. I'm sure you can make any genre in it though. I think every DAW gets sort of like pigeonholed into a certain kind of genre where it's like you can pretty much make any kind of music in any kind of DAW, I think. Feel free to challenge me on that. Y'all tune in for the tutorials, beat making from scratch, sampling, production tips. Good to know, good to know. Think you could travel with the Mini Freak, says Minaret. I don't know. It wouldn't be my first choice. I don't really travel with big gear like this at all. I just have too much other much smaller gear. I mean, the ultimate like small travel synth right now, like Obviously, Ableton Move is a fantastic synth. I love the way it sounds. Obviously, you can't go as deep as you can on something like the Mini Freak, but that's not really the purpose. But when I'm traveling, am I sitting down doing a big sound design session? Probably not. And then the other contender would be the OP1 Field as a travel synth. It's just so tiny and it sounds so great, and there's different synth engines to use, and the sampling is fun. Like, I wouldn't travel with the Mini Freak, but it's not a knock to the Mini Freak. It's just a matter of the, you know, the size. I really want to know more about the drone synth, as it has been on my wish list for 6 months. We'll get into the music making in a bit. Yeah, it's cool. I've never tried a drone synth, but this one is definitely cool. I need to readjust my camera so that I can actually show you that drone synth. So give me one moment. Let's deactivate, activate. Yeah, there we go. All right, let's see. Is this camera actually on? It is. I can move it around, but I think the battery's draining too fast. There's the little drone synth. We're not going to start with the drone synth because it's very noisy, and I mean, like, when I don't mean like the audio is noisy. I mean like making noise with the drone synth is like the direction we'll go, and I don't want to put off too many people right here at the top of the stream. I'd rather make something more musical first and then get more experimental later, if that makes sense. Oh, Cycling Frugally says the vintage keyboard video was awesome. Thank you so much. I'm working on another video. I'm actually working with a PC, a gaming PC, if you can believe that. Gaming laptop, I should say. For a new production video that's gonna have the same kind of vibe as the vintage keyboard video, so I hope you all like it. We'll see. That might be coming out this weekend. Good evening, Tom, the cranky old nerd. You wouldn't be so cranky if you didn't stay up too late watching these streams. Ozzy, you tuned in for the welcoming, friendly vibe and tutorials. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I feel like just chatting on here is more fun than actually making music sometimes, but we should definitely get into it. How about Bitwig too? Any good? I mean, they're all good. Of course they're all good. Bitwig is made by previous people from Ableton, so you have that. There's a bit of a Ableton Live sensibility that goes over to Bitwig. I think there's a lot of strength in sort of their modular stuff. CV tools, stuff like that. I haven't really used it, so I can't speak to it. It's a very modular DAW. Oh, I just want to shout out real quick Tabe in chat, Tabe Comics, who's an amazing music artist and visual artist. I play this ambient music in the background, and this ambient music is actually my ambient album, which Tabe Comics made the animation for. Like, there's a whole animation for the album, little visualizer. So shout out Tabe Comics. I should definitely copy this link, copy the link address, and then spam it in here. And it doesn't fit, of course. What's happening? I just want to give a shout out to the amazing artist. Here, let's try this. Yeah, that works. Boom. If you need an artist for your project, would highly recommend. All right, I'll chat for one more minute, and then we'll get into doing some sampling, and then we'll take another chat break, and we'll keep that vibe going. If you have any last minute questions to get in before we start making some music, let me know. That's true. It is ironic that it's called the Mini Freak, but I guess when you already have a Micro Freak, yeah, but it's not really mini or micro. That's a good point. But it's not, you know, they have the giant like Polybrute as well, so. What would be cool as a future stream idea? Use a random photo or video clip to create a score / beat to match the theme of the photo / video. Not a bad idea at all. It could be a little group challenge too. We could have little Thursday night evening challenges where we all like cook up a little something to a image. That could be fun. What time is it there now? It's nice to watch while having breakfast. It is about 8:30 at the moment. Drone synth looks like it's semi-modular. Definitely interested in hearing about it. Yeah, it has Eurorack mounts. Whatever that means. That's not my world, you know? What tempo do you prefer performing in? I don't think I have a favorite tempo. My template project loads at 90 BPM. Of course, if we're making more house-driven stuff, sometimes I don't like to go the full 120 BPM. If we can come just under that, 115, 118, something like that. I see you all sharing about like what you watch the channel for and stuff. Thank you. That feedback is helpful. Sarah Too Ill is pretty dope. She is super dope, and she just had a birthday, so happy birthday to Sarah. Aries season it is. She's a really cool producer. She streams every Friday. If you're looking for another production stream, she usually streams in the afternoons on Friday, and it's super dope because she just works on those beats. She puts them out. She puts out so much music. It's wild. All right, hold all the current questions. Let's start making a little bit of noise with the Mini Freak, and we'll return to questions in a few, if that's okay. Blue Fox, you didn't miss anything. You tuned in just in time. But feel free to like chat amongst yourselves as well. If there's a question I didn't answer and you all want to jump in and, you know, answer each other's questions, that is totally cool. Keep it supportive, keep it a fun, easygoing, relaxed chat, and we'll have a good evening. So let's see. Rasheen says, how long have you owned the Mini Freak? I have only had this got delivered this week, so I have not had it long at all, and I've only done some testing. All right, I'm gonna turn off the microcosm pedal for now, so we just hear the raw. I do like that preset. Let's just preset surf for a bit, except for the fact that I'm in this scale page and I don't know how to get out of it. Okay, that was easy actually. One thing I realized quickly is that you don't just scan through the presets, you have to hit enter on a preset. And there is aftertouch on this keyboard. Can you hear that change in the sound? That's me adding more pressure. That's a nice. What key should I be jamming in tonight, chat? Blue Fox says F. Let's jam an F. I saw F first. I'm sorry. Mikachu says H. The Germans know. Y'all are too slow. Blue Fox is way ahead of you. Kyle said 60 BPM. I don't know if we're going to make a full track, but we're going to try some sampling. Ding dong, come in. Yeah, there's like light and like playful, delicate kind of lo-fi chill sounds, and then there's just... How's the volume on that, by the way? We need more? I mean, filter access right here is dope as well. Somebody asked a question. Have I tried sampling? Where did that question go? Have you tried sampling with the Mini Freak? Do you mean like sampling the Mini Freak itself, or are you saying there's some way that I can sample in on the Mini Freak? There is an audio in. I kind of had just assumed that that was an audio through. Like a through kind of thing. The master audio only works for the audio outputs, not USB. I don't think this has USB audio, right? I think it only has proper audio outs. I want to make like a dark soundtrack with this. Okay, moving on. So we go from that like super aggressive bass. We have also effects. So I was like, easy access. I do like the layout overall of the Mini Freak as well, because you've got all these sections: filter, digital effects, the envelope, cycling envelope, and then proper envelope. And then you've got the different modes that you select, and you got the nice LED feedback, so you know what you're selecting. There's 3 effects. So we have chorus, distortion, and reverb on this one, which we can crank the time on. And then I'm just turning up. Come this way. I mean, obviously the hologram pedal just makes everything sound magical. Use the left slider and try mutation. All right, let's try that. Is it modulation or mutation? Oh, I see. Like, is it changing a bunch of stuff at once? Oh, that's actually controlling the effects macros at the moment. Am I crazy? Oh, they're assignable. Got it. Oh, I see. Macros, keyboard, bend. Ooh. I got it. That's cool. They're assignable. Great. I'm learning from all the experts in the chat. Kill the hologram. So let's bring up the attack on this. And maybe down an octave? Nah, not quite. We need the attack. That's what makes the sound cool. And I'm actually going to kill the reverb. I want to just record these chords. I'm going to have live up and just hit the record button on occasion. Come back up the octave. I'll move on to a different sound right after this. Yeah, I think that's the sweet spot on the octave. Those will be some cool chords to grab later. I would definitely highly recommend if some of y'all are ever in a... Sometimes I feel like I'm in a creative rut, which I kind of am at the moment. Not like I'm making a lot of stuff, but I feel like I'm not getting to the... I feel like I'm not getting to like the magic fast enough these days, which maybe that's not a totally fair expectation to have of oneself, but my point is, if you're feeling like kind of stuck creatively, like forget about just making music for a second and just do something like sampling or sound design, and it takes you out of that process and you can actually like make some stuff that you can use later. I don't know. Maybe that'll work for some of you. All right, let me see. Wes says microcosm versus the chroma console. Well, I think actually, doesn't the chroma console have everything that the microcosm has? With more. I could be wrong. Just kind of in a different package. I just have had this for so long. Just crank that mix all the way up. Listen to that. Let's capture that, because that can definitely be used for something. I'm just literally playing these chords through. And then sometimes when you're doing this, you gotta like wait for the sound to come through. Like, am I playing this correctly? I don't know. We'll hear it come through. Just like improvise a bunch of this, and who knows how it'll get used later. All right, let that fade out as we record it. Like I said, literally just running live. Just gonna record some of these ideas, throw in a folder, use them later probably. That was fun. Let's keep rolling through some presets. I'll keep checking in with your tips, by the way, Mini Freak aficionados in the chat. If you are just tuning in, thank you for saying hi, or thank you for being here. If you haven't said hi in the chat, don't be shy. We're a cool, kind of chill community. Say hi. Don't just be a lurker. It actually helps to motivate me to make the stream even better, to hear y'all coming through and saying hello. So don't just be a lurker, say hi. It's a fun, easy part of the community. We've been doing these kind of evening streams, which is different for me. So thank you for being here. We might start doing these a lot more consistently. So if you're enjoying the vibes, it's always good to know. It's a fun little community when we do these streams at kind of the same day and the same time. Oh yeah, there was some chat about the Mini Freak software. Yeah, there's a VST version, and it comes, I think the VST version comes with the hardware, so you get both, which is cool. So like to that question before where we were talking about would you travel with the Mini Freak, I guess that's an easy reason to not travel with the Mini Freak, because you can just load up the plugin if you need to. VGroove says the only difference is that the hardware has an analog filter, so it sounds better if you want to use it to self-oscillate. You know, I gotta say on that front, I used to be kind of like roll my eyes at people that would say they can hear the difference, or, you know, like an analog synth is, you know, so much better than digital. And I'm not totally saying like yeah, analog is so much better than digital at all. But I am saying, like, when I plug this keyboard in and I play it, I totally can feel the difference. And that's like such a cop-out thing to say. But I do feel like when you play an analog synth, it just hits different. And it's just a feeling thing. I can't quite articulate what it is, but it's definitely there. I like this sound. Let's tweak it a little bit. So here we've got the type, wave, timbre, and shape knobs. These kind of just give you instant control of the oscillators. And there's two. I totally messed this sound up. I'm just gonna switch back to it. Wow, that's where we started? Oof, nice sounding chord. The one thing I'll miss if I start using the Mini Freak on my desk as like the permanent keyboard is like I need an Ableton Live quick control. That's what I was talking about with trying to get my setup together, because like if I could get push over here as well, but I like push at the standalone station because it's great to be away from the computer on that thing. Let's see. That's good. A few chords on that. Between this and the Yamaha Reface CP, well, that's kind of a tough thing, because I think you could probably get some really decent electric keyboard sounds out of the Mini Freak. The Yamaha Reface CP obviously sounds beautiful for that kind of typical classic vintage electric piano sound, but the Mini Freak is going to be a lot more versatile in getting a wide variety of sounds. On that note, let's get this through some. This is an on. Let's turn it on. I find that hold button really handy. Let's just record this chord. Tweak some stuff while the chord plays. Run and record in the DAW. Alright, I could like sit here and jam on that all day. Let's let that play out. Cool. Yeah, just a bunch of samples now. Chop that up later. Or even like take this and don't even warp it, just slow it down. Ready? Quick ambient session. Do this. We got the MIDI already loaded up. Last thing we need, field recordings. Rain. Perfect. You just drop that in, but not too loud. You gotta keep it, push it in the background. If you want an otherworldly kind of alien sound, put some reverb on the rain. Doesn't make sense, but it'll sound like you're in a tunnel. We've got this kind of drone going. Get this other. Put a bunch of reverb on this. Then when you kill the lights, you sit in the darkness. You know. Alright, that was our quick ambient tutorial. That was fun. Convolution reverb, could have put that on there, you're right. Been doing a lot of ambient at 36 or 40 BPM. Very laid back. Nice. Yeah, so that's just fun. Well, all right, we'll play with those samples later. Let's get back to business. I kind of messed up my... Oh no, I didn't mess anything up. We're good. Good to go. Arm that again. I was using the Mini Freak as a MIDI controller at that moment. People talking about Serum 2. I have not tried Serum 2, but what intrigues me is that isn't it free for people that own Serum 1? Did I hear that correctly? Spooky. And then just stuff like this. And if I can be completely honest, I'm totally intimidated by this matrix over here. I'm hitting record in the DAW. I'm just gonna record whatever is happening here. But I kind of want to take off the reverb. If I can add reverb later. Like, what's even happening in this sound? Like, what am I even gonna do with this sound? Not trying to figure that out in this moment. And then just let it fade out. And now we have that weird texture. Chop and sample it, says Weird Child. Exactly. That's definitely what we're going to do. Let's actually just take stock of what we have so far. And let me know if we should keep going with the MIDI Freak or if you want to switch and make some noise with the drone synth. But this is what we have so far. We started with doing some chords like this. Boom. Shh, relax, relax. It's coming in hot. Then process those. Then those bells. That'll be fun. Those long strings, we already messed with those. And then that texture that we just got. AK10 says very bubbly. Yes, very bubbly indeed. But just to show quickly, like, we just grab a simpler instrument maybe, or just take this. Like, it could be that, or it could be these chords. Just take these, drop them into a MIDI track. Gosh darn it. There it is. Drop it into the MIDI track, slice it. Make sure it's not too sensitive, but also just let it do its thing. Let it be a little wonky. And where is the key that I need? And now we can just we could definitely just transpose it. Yeah, and that's just like with a few seconds and not even being mindful of like where these chops are. Just like we can quickly get off and running, getting inspired with that kind of sample material. Let's take a quick break from the MIDI Freak and let's kick it over to the drone synth. This is going to be the noisy part of the stream. I won't stay on the drone synth too long, but it can get intriguing. Here, I don't know if you guys like this view or if you just prefer to get up close and personal. Let me know in the chat. Get nice and close. I'm trying to get the angle right. There we go. All right, so this is a drone synth by the same folks who make... Wait, why am I forgetting? The same folks who make the stylophone is what the word I'm looking for. Now I'm just going to quickly, we're pulling out the Mini Freak, plugging in the drone to the pedal as well, but we're just going to bypass it for now. And let's get our track loaded up here. So I have not really used a drone synth that much. So this is a new world for me. You can like patch it all up and stuff. I don't know if anybody else is more familiar with this style of synthesis than me. First of all, what is cool about it is battery operated. Oh gosh. And as you can hear, the second I turn it on, we get sound. Now this is a drone synth, so we're gonna get some drone sounds. In fact, let me make this a little taller for you. The angle might be better. Down, down. Come back this way. There we go. That's probably better. All right. So there's a LFO over here. Destinations for the LFO, like a wave. We can use to modulate the sound. Drone 1 and drone 2. So let's start working with one drone at a time. I'm going to turn the volume up of drone 1. And I'm also going to make sure that my effects are turned down. This thing does have reverb and delay, but I'm just going to turn them off for now. So there you go. There's our first drone. And I'm going to turn the LFO off, just so we can like slowly introduce it in. So we get a drone, and we can change the pitch of it. There's also a filter. Can be a high pass or a low pass. Let's keep it on a little low pass for now. There's the X wave. Let's actually crank up the... Can hear the difference as I cycle through the waves. And then we can add a sub oscillator. Now this LFO gets fun. We have a wave here, wave 1, which we can set the destination to oscillator 1. So if I now, it's also changing filter 1, but it's going really slow. So now we get this kind of alarm-esque kind of sound. There is another wave, which we can change. But let's keep that off for now, and let's introduce the next drone. So they're playing in harmony with each other. Huh. Jimmy says Dungeon Master would be so happy right now. You're right. So we're just droning along, right? This is the most basic we can get. So now we have wave 2 changing this filter. Okay, now let's turn on I'm just cranking that entirely now. And now we have a drone. That's kind of interesting, kind of spooky. I'm still racking my brain on how I can best use this, but I think I just need to be creative about it. I'm playing with the pitch. Wait for that to come through. See, and I think when you start doing this, things start to feel like, I don't know, I guess probably watching this, it's easy to be like, what the hell is all this noise? But as you start doing it, there's something hypnotizing about it. So then we start getting into like patching things. So you could patch these wave shapes to certain aspects of these drones. So like the most easy to understand is like the pitch. You'll hear the pitch start to change. That's actually starting to sound really cool. Very spooky. Now I'm sending wave 2. And don't forget, this has its own delay and reverb. It's not... see, people love this. Tombo saying good shit. Sounds like an 80s horror film. I agree. David Fincher movie. Could be like, you know, that's Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross doing a lot of those soundtracks, so... Let's jam on this for a bit. I don't know, what do we think? I think it's gotta be slow. I'm telling you, there's something like maddening and mesmerizing about doing this process. It's like we lost the connection. Everybody's coming for me, saying this is the start of my modular addiction. I don't know. I have no comment, okay? In fact, I feel insulted that you all would ask such a personal question. But can anybody articulate for me why this is so addicting? Like, this is so out of the realm of what I would normally want to be making, but it is so mesmerizing to be doing. Yeah, I don't know. That's just like fun. I cannot articulate or describe why I find that to be so fun, but it is. And like, how long did we do that for? Like, I feel like I was in a trance. Let's look at the DAW for a moment. That was from, what was that, minute 9? Minute 9 to, oh gosh, we did that for for 9 minutes. Is that how it happens? Is this how the modular addiction begins? Let's see, what questions did I miss along the way? We'll let the recorded version of that play. Zurich says, I think I'm sold on this synth. Honestly, what sells you on it after watching that, I wonder? Twiddling the knobs takes you to a different world almost. I agree. It's very escapist for sure. Android whales humping. We love that. Does anyone ever get over gas? Accent Noir says, every month I get gas. Yes. It is very hypnotizing. I am Orange. Oh, I am Orange. Thank you for joining us tonight. Tombo says it's like searching for what you're trying to hear, but then falling in love with something totally unexpected is how you imagine it. Yes. Wow, it seems like a lot of people are into the drone synth. Very interesting. Very interesting. Dustin, nice to see you here in the chat. How are you? Do the effects on the drone have patch points? They do not have patch points. However, well, good thing we have a camera for this. Here, let's get in close. So, the effects can be synced to the LFO, either wave 1 or wave 2. And you have LFO depth. Oh, sorry, that's only the delay. And the reverb is either stereo or mono, but you have a few different types. Hall, plate, room. We were running Hall 2 for all that. The patch points on each drone are pitch, pulse width modulation, cutoff, and there's an output. And then off the LFO, you can patch out wave 1, wave 2, rate, and reset. Now, if I could get one of my controllers that has CV, right? That's what I need, chat. I'm asking. If I get one of my controllers that has a CV and I could sequence some in-key notes, I think that would be the goal. Because then I could get some in-key stuff happening, but still have the randomized kind of feel. It's exploratory and unpredictable in a fun way, I think. I would have to agree with you for sure. Yeah, a lot of it comes down to joy of discovery. It is very... But do you think, like are any of you seeking out artists that make music that sounds like that, or that is generated by this stuff? Like, I do. I listen to quite a few artists on YouTube that do really amazing modular stuff. I forget his name. I'm never gonna find it now. I could have possibly saved it. It's like when the algorithm just keeps serving you a thing so you don't actually save it, but then one day it stops serving you that thing and you don't get it back. And you're like, wait, what was that channel called? Let me see if I can find it, if I saved it at all. I had to save at least one. I'd be very surprised if I didn't. The name is like Henry, but I don't, it's like spelt not in a traditional way. I'm not going to find it. But anyway, that sounds like dark and random what I just made. I'm looking for like the very... No, oh yes, I did find the channel. This channel, let me say, fantastic channel. Henry. Really calming, really beautiful. Like, if I could make myself one of these little setups right there, game over. I'm totally down. Like, these are just beautiful. But then I started looking at the prices of this stuff, and I was like, oh, it's very expensive. But I don't know. I'd be down to create something like this. Some guy says he's already justifying the addiction. Hey, it's a business expense. This is my livelihood here. I 100% listen to ambient stuff. Yeah, ambient stuff, but... Heinbach, yeah, for sure. I guess I was more asking, like, do people listen to the darker stuff? Like, the totally random, the totally dark stuff, like, similar to what we just put together with the drone synth? Or is that, like, purely, like, a selfish endeavor that's only fun while you're doing it? That's what I'm wondering. It's got such a, like, I'm in a dark outpost doing cybercrime vibe. Sounds more like film music. Yeah, exactly. Like, it sets a mood. So I think if I combine that kind of music with some cool visuals, might be cool. I would say not random at all. It's complex patterns. Yeah, but even if that's true, I'm falling into these complex patterns randomly. I'm not like, oh, let me make this complex pattern and here's exactly what I want. It's like there's a randomness to how I get there anyway. So that's where the randomness is. Whereas versus like more traditional music writing, I'm like, oh, let me find this chord progression that I really want. And like, let's be very deliberate about what we do. But, you know. I think you could put a drone synth in a modular case. Yeah, this has mounts. I don't know what that means, but it has mounts. I'm not sure a CV keyboard would play notes with those inputs. How do yeah, well, no, there's a rate input. So I think I could do, oh, no. What am I talking about? Oh, there's a pitch input on each drone. So I think I could, I gotta like do a deep dive. Yeah, music for airports, absolutely. I have the cassette right over there. I have my music for airports cassette. Very inspiring piece. But yeah, I need to figure out what do I patch into the pitch on each drone to get it to play nice, harmonious in key notes. There's a lot of other people have questions in chat about modular. I have no idea. So what did the cables do in modular? Well, I guess I kind of do know about that question. It's like we have these LFOs. LFO is just a wave. LFO is just a shape. So is it like a rigid shape, like or is it like a fluid shape? So if we take that shape and we patch it into, say, the pitch of the drone, it'll make the drone move. It'll make the pitch of the drone move in that shape. So that's what these cables do. It's like total creative freedom into what you patch into what and how that changes things. Is there a CV out on the Mini Freak? Clock. No, there's only 5-pin MIDI and clock in and out. That would have been a perfect pairing though. But I have the APC 64, which I was just jamming on like last week. That has CV. I have a Moog synth that I basically have almost never used as well. So if we start getting into this stuff, oh, it'll be crazy. Oh, the Micro Freak has CV out. Maybe that's next week's Thursday night stream. Maybe next week we hang out and we try to do a little more CV stuff. There is pitch control voltage, which sets the note / frequency. Got it. Who's going to Sherpa me through this process? MIDI converted to pitch and gate CV. Right, so pitch is the pitch and gate is like how long the note is, right? See, this to me is where this starts to like blow my mind, because it's like, what are you talking about? Like, can't I just like press keys and make sound? Why doesn't that work? The re-release of Hiroshi Yoshimura Flora came out now. Nice. What did they release it on? By that I mean, what medium? Did they make cassettes? That would be great to get a cassette. I'm not a big vinyl person, but I'll take a cassette any day. Is there a gate on that drone synth? I see no gate. I see rate. Is that the same? Oh, they only did streaming and vinyl? That's interesting. I think I will need all of your help if we're going to do this the proper way. Should we try one more drone experiment? Drones don't usually have gate. So, oh yeah, because it's a drone. Duh, that makes sense. All right, let's start from scratch here. Off. I'll give you guys the close-up cam. All right, so if you all want to be my hands and do something cool, we can try that. Is there anything that anybody wants me to do in particular? Do you guys have a good enough view to be able to have that kind of experience? Oops. How's that view? Make a drone sample and then do granular in Ableton. That's not a bad idea. Not a bad idea at all. All right, the waves are off. We can do the different wave shapes. It's a bit of a glare, but these are identical. The LFOs can go to oscillator 1, oscillator 2. Wave 1, we can choose where it goes. Wave 2, we choose which oscillator gets which wave. That's what I'm talking about. Krios, nice to see you. Just in time for the drone. Pitch drone 2 a fourth or fifth above drone 1 to keep it less scary. Okay, let's try that. Let's just go to 200 hertz on... Turn that off. Okay. I just need to get a basic sound out of here. Oh, no. I'm going to turn the effects off as well. So we just have a basic sound. Triangle, square, or that one. Saw. Alright, square wave. Triangle. Alright. Now let's do the harmony here. Is that a perfect fifth? It's like slightly off. There it is. All right, we've got our perfect fifth. Okay, I don't want to mess it up. I see the suggestions in chat, but I'm not 100%. Kill the drone for a second. So pitch drone to, okay, I did that part. Square wave to pitch. We could try that. So we'll go wave 1 to the pitch, and we'll make it a square. But that's kind of difficult to listen to, right? Okay. Square to cut off could give you a gate type effect. That's true. Let's try that. It's an aggressive cutoff, but that's fine. I like the random shape. I really have trouble hearing the pulse width modulation, so I want to try patching that in. Oh, that is really easy to hear, actually. Let's go a much slower rate. Bring in some reverb. How am I doing so far, chat? Here's one thing I don't understand. The delay has a pitch to it. But I have the LFO turned all the way down on the delay, so I don't know why. Is that right? Chris says, what are we trying to make, or what, are we just experimenting? We're trying to make TAETRO understand what the hell is going on. Alright, you want to try the more... Yeah, so can somebody tell me if I'm insane, or if with LFO depth turned down, the LFO should not be affecting the delay, right? I have it turned all the way down, LFO depth, which is right here. I can get you in closer. Sorry. LFO depth and delay is here. You can choose which wave it takes its LFO from, but I have that turned all the way down, and when I bring the delay back up, you can hear it. Oh, you might want it center. Thank you. That was it. Thank you so much, Jason. I like having that random on. This is kind of pleasant to listen to, and we haven't even run it through the microcosm yet. a little slower. Oh, the camera's unfocused. I apologize. Focus. All right, now let's bring this one in. I think it's gonna sound good. Could I be doing more? Am I doing too little? Is this like the right... Am I doing it right, chat? That's my question. And also, does patching drone 1 out to anything here have any effect? Or is that just for audio? Some guy says, if you're having fun, you're doing it right. Thank you. I appreciate that. I haven't been recording this session. I wish I had been. This is the haze preset on the microcosm. What if the pitch of LFO2, what if the pitch of oscillator 2 hovered between this note and a whole step lower? I think that would be cool. I don't know how to do that, Nate. How do I make that happen? DM String says this is out of my wheelhouse and I like it. I'm glad you're liking it. It's out of my wheelhouse as well. But listen to this patch. I'm actually pretty proud of this sound. This sounds like good, right? I mean, it's a perfect fifth with some bubbles. So let me ask this dumb question. The filter has an LFO depth. And you can also patch the waves into the cutoff. What's the point of doing that if there's already an LFO? Right? See, I don't see any reason why I would ever want to patch something into pitch like that. Like, or just like an LFO into pitch is what I mean. Ah, so it's not actually doing an LFO unless it's patched in. Is that what you're saying? That makes more sense. Back up. I missed the cutoff. Okay, we're getting somewhere. And congratulations, you've made bagpipes. All right. Dustin says, for fun and science, can you patch a drone output to the LFO rate? Sure. Wave 1. Out. 2. Rate. Is it doing anything? That's kind of interesting. This is fun and experimental. Plug one of the waves into oscillator 2 pitch. Plug one of the waves into oscillator 2 pitch. We're gonna get kind of a randomized sound from that, right? I have wave 2 going to the oscillator 2 pitch. How's that going? Jimmy, thank you for the kind words. I do try to make music making fun. It should be fun. Learning music making, it should all be fun. What about the destinations at the bottom? Ah, true. You're right. I'm still only hearing fifths as well. I'm not hearing wave 2 doing much for our pitch. Let's hone in only on drone 2. I don't hear drone 2 because the output is not patched to anything. Damn it. I'm not crazy. Oh yeah, if we go from wave 2 to pitch, we get this kind of like lasery sound. I'm lost in the sauce, chat. Oof. If I may, y'all, there's one more pedal. We'll end on this. This is a time control pedal. So we can slow things down. So, in theory, pull that out, run it into the pedal, run this pedal out, into here. Okay, now we should be getting exactly what we were already hearing. Now turning this on, nothing. But now we should be able to bring the speed down. Really stretch things out. But if we want to change the pitch, let's bring everything up in pitch so it's not too low. No CV on the Tensor, unfortunately. Wait, why am I not getting... Why am I not getting my pitch control, chat? Wait, I messed something up. How can I be messing up if we are hearing the drone? Going out, in. That should have looped. Am I crazy? Might be too late. Oh yeah, the blend is already down. Thank you. This is what happens when we do a late night stream. Okay, get rid of that. Actually, just turn... Ah, gosh. Okay, we're back up. We are so back up. Now... pitch speed down. Here we go. Now we are cooking. Slow it way down, pitch it up. Back in with the hologram because we need that magic. And now we've got some magic, right? And if this can only loop 6 seconds, I think. So let's see, loop this 6 seconds. But what it can also do is play the loop forward and backward or alternate between those. So now we're just hearing the 6-second loop play here. There's also a random, which just injects like a random pitch. I usually don't like it, but since we're being random tonight, let's try it. Ooh. I don't know. What do we think? Tim Hecker. I guess I'm gonna have to look up that artist. Oh, I feel kind of like tired after doing that. But I like the sound. Actually, I'm surprised we spent more time with the drone synth, and like I think we had a more interesting time with it than we did with the Mini Freak. I think we'll have to be more experimental in these evening streams. Whoa. Well, nothing I do there matters because we're just looping here. But if I do this and then we record another loop, then we'll get a little something new. There could be one other effect in the chain, maybe? I don't know. I'll put the blend to 50%. Thank you, Nate. MVP Nate. Huh. Oh, you know why that's gonna sound crazy? It's because the pitch is all being manipulated. Dustin, that's great to hear. We're gonna have to experiment with that next time. I think we need to rebrand these evening streams to be like in the experimental category. I don't know if y'all had tuned in for like some straight up traditional beat making type content, or if y'all prefer the experimental vibes, but this kind of like discovering things together thing I really enjoy. So y'all know what kind of gear I have. You should leave comments or stuff if you think of a cool combo or a cool thing like the CV for expression pedal, whatever. What's up, Jacqueline? Jacqueline says, I love this so much. Hecker is Canadian. Check him out. Okay, good to know. Some guy, thank you so much for becoming a member and supporting the channel. Much appreciated, my friend. Thanks for becoming a channel member. Playing over this with something could be fun too. Oh, I do have a key step. You're right. Good call, AK10. I think we'll continue this exploration next week, my friends. This needs Afrobeat over it. I can't tell if that's a serious comment. Okay, I don't know. Funny though. But y'all, this is a beautiful little setup. Stylophone sent me this synth. I was like, I'm kind of interested, but I don't know. But I'm gonna have to report back to them that we had a great time on this stream. They're super cool and they're super supportive. They'll send me stuff like, and they don't even ask me to make anything. They just send it. You want this? Here, do stuff or don't do stuff. It's fine. So cool company to work with for sure. And I really wasn't sure what I was going to do with this, but it turned out to be a really fun experiment. So next week, we'll continue these experiments. It's late in the evening now, or some of you are into your Friday already, so we'll continue to dig deeper next week. Thank you all for hanging. This was a really fun evening stream. I think we'll keep Thursday nights. We'll try to be consistent on the Thursday night crew. If you tuned in later, you want to tune in at the beginning of the stream, it's going to be up as soon as the stream's over. V-Groove says that 2 hours went fast, for sure. And check, keep an eye out for a video coming this weekend, probably. And then we'll be back live again next week. That is going to be all for now, my friends. Thank you all so much for watching. This has been TAETRO. Have a good one.